Richard Jones, 1st Earl of Ranelagh PCFRS, known as the Viscount Ranelagh between 1669 and 1677, was an Irish peer, politician both in the Parliaments of England and Ireland. Background: he was the eldest son of Arthur Jones, 2nd Viscount Ranelagh, and Catherine Boyle, daughter of the Earl of Cork, who counted amongst her brothers the chemist Robert Boyle and Lord Broghill, the later Earl of Orrery, who was a prominent politician in Cromwellian and Restoration times. Jones's mother was estranged from her husband, who appears to have been a drunkard, and Richard Jones was largely brought up in his mother's household. In London, Irish parliamentary career. Following the restoration of Charles II, he became a member of the Irish Parliament for Roscommon, and in 1668 was appointed to the Privy Council of Ireland. In the Irish Parliament, Ranelagh was associated initially with the group which opposed the land settlement being proposed by Ormond, the then Viceroy, but upon appointment to the government as Chancellor of the Exchequer he became a strong supporter of Ormond's. He accompanied the new Viceroy, Berkeley, on his trip to England in 1671 when Lord Ongea, the Vice-Treasurer, presented a grim view of Irish finances and Crown debts. Ranelagh seized this opportunity to reinterpret the situation as one where the Crown, far from being indebted, could reap a profit from Ireland if it managed moneys owing to the Crown and the government finances differently. Ranelagh was granted an undertaking whereby he and a partnership took on the Crown debts and effectively privatized the Treasury. Ranelagh was rewarded personally with his earldom and the role of Vice-Treasurer of Ireland. Throughout the whole of Essex's viceroyalty from 1672 to 77, Ranelagh wielded real influence on Irish government from Whitehall, developing a strong relationship with the Earl of Danby, the English treasurer who was effectively Charles's first minister. English parliamentary career. When the undertaking finished in 1675 it was not renewed, but the Crown was now clear of all debts. Ranelagh ensured regular payments were made to the English treasury, some of which paid for troops for Charles and some of which went to the renovation of Windsor Castle. This was largely achieved through short payment of the Irish Army, which was Ranelagh's training ground for his later embezzlements as paymaster general to the English army. His skill, however, lay in his efficiency. For all his short payments, the Irish army were in fact better paid than in the previous ill-managed regime. He ceased his involvement in Irish affairs in 1681 when the Irish Treasury was handed over to a group of Treasury Commissioners. Ranelagh remained closely associated with Danby after 1675, but when the latter fell from power he remained a loyalist to Charles and an associate of the Duchess of Portsmouth and of the Earl of Sunderland. He remained in royal favour during James II's reign, but when William and Mary came to the throne he was able to transfer his loyalties and become a senior figure in the new regime. In 1670 he inherited his father's viscountcy, and in 1674 was created 1st Earl of Ranelagh. Both these peerages being in the peerage of Ireland, they did not disqualify him from sitting in the English House of Commons, and in 1685 was elected as MP for Plymouth. In the same year he was appointed to the lucrative post of Paymaster of the Forces. He was subsequently member for Newtown, Chichester, Marlborough and Westlew, and was made a member of the English Privy Council in 1692. Ranelagh was expelled from the Commons in 1703 when discrepancies were found in his accounts as paymaster, and he was discovered to have appropriated more than £900,000 of public fines. family and later life. Ranelagh was well known in his time for enjoying life. He had a wife, Margaret Cecil, and 3 daughters, but there are suggestions that he was at least bisexual, and that he led a rakish life. He was known for his building works in terms of homes, his involvement with the building of Chelsea Hospital and his adjacent home Ranelagh House, which no longer exists but whose associated pleasure gardens were later transferred to the hospital and still bear his name. His country estate was Cranbourne Lodge, now in the Great Park at Windsor in Berkshire, where he was Ranger of Cranbourne Chase. He founded Ranelagh School at nearby Cranbourne. Ranelagh died in 1712, and due to his lack of a legitimate male heir his earldom became extinct, and the viscountcy dormant.